everyone, this is my desk. I'm going to show you how to ignore the mattress. We're going to move that eventually, but this is my office. I have the nice windows behind me so I can get light in my face, stay energized for the day. But I'm going to go ahead and set up my workstation and I'll show you how it's done. Okay, so I have all this stuff open here. This includes two 24-inch monitors. I have the dock here, keyboard, mouse. This is sort of the stuff you need to buy. This comes separately, the monitors come separately. Obviously the keyboard and mouse are separate. And then the laptop, which you presumably already have. And the laptop should have a USB-C Thunderbolt port to allow for this docking station to give you all the ports you need. So first things first, we're going to plug in this power cord, because you want to plug in the cords in the back first so that you don't have to reach behind to get to them afterwards. So we're going to plug in the power and the DVI port. I decided to go with the DVI cable because my hub has two DVI ports. So I have two monitors. I can do one DVI, one HDMI. I prefer to use both DVI. So I'll go ahead and use that. So here are the different ports on this monitor. They have two DVI or a DVI HDMI USB-C uplink, that's called, and then two USB ports. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in the DVI cable here, and then I'm going to go ahead and plug in the power cord here. Okay, alright, let's take this in. Be sure to not trip on your cables. I'm going to go ahead and place this here. We're going to move these monitors around eventually. I'm going to leave this DVI port cable here because I'm going to have it plug into the hub. I'm going to run this cable, probably this side. I'm going to run it through the hole in the desk so that I can get it to what I need to, which is going to be my power strip. So this is my power strip. I'm either going to run it through the hole or just behind the table here. So you do want a nice power strip with surge protector. This is a very old one, probably from the 90s, that I'm still using. As you can see, it's has surge protection. I'm just gonna plug it in here, and for now I'm just gonna run the cables actually behind the table, just to make sure everything works, and eventually I will go ahead and run it through the holes so that we have great cable management and we don't see the cables. So for now, I'm just gonna go ahead and run this behind the table here. But like I said, eventually you want to place it in such a way that nothing's sort of getting in the way. Alright, so as you can see, I have my power strip here, and we're going to plug in the monitor here. I turn the strip on, and there's the power button here. I turn it on. You know, every step of the way you want to make sure that your equipment's working. You don't want it all set up and then realize that your equipment's not even working. So the monitor works. Gonna move on. So we have the second monitor. Obviously, if you don't need a second monitor, you can skip this step and go ahead and work on your hub. I would recommend getting a hub because you don't want to always be plugging things into your laptop. It's just more convenient to plug it into the hub because it's sort of, the ports are more visible. Alright, so that's power port, another DVI. Alright, let's take this in. One thing I forgot to show you in the video where I unboxed the monitor is the tilt capability. So the height adjustment, but it also has a tilt capability, which is pretty robust. I think it's a very good monitor that Dell has made. which has very easy tilt and height adjustability, as well as just very easy setup for the stand. So they also make stands that actually hold 2 monitors at once, which could be convenient to purchase. So if I don't like the setup I come up with, I might go ahead and buy one of those stands that holds 2 monitors and there's only 1 footprint on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this one on, make sure that one's working. Hold on, let me make sure I plugged in the cable correctly. I have not. That's why you always want to check every step of the way if your equipment's working, because otherwise at the end you're going to be struggling to figure out what's wrong. So there we go. I still have my 2 DVI cables up here to plug into the hub. I'm going to go ahead and bring the hub in. The hub also comes with a power brick. Don't forget to grab the power brick for the hub. This is a 180 watts, so it's quite a large power brick, which is okay. We expected that. Go ahead and plug this in. And this goes into the laptop, the USB-C port. Now this hub, you obviously want the hub sitting down here, but you don't want the cables in your way. So I'm going to go ahead and put this hub here. Pull these power cables for the monitor back. Right. This brick I'm going to run through the back to the bottom. So that's careful running behind the monitors here. And I'm going to just drop it behind the desk here to the bottom. And there we go. So I'm going to plug in this hub. So obviously, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and hide this stuff so that I'm not constantly hitting it with my feet. But right now I'm just plugging it in so to make sure it's working. So I don't think I'm going to be able to turn it on really until I have the laptop connected to it. Okay, you can see the power on the power brick here, so you know that at least the power brick's working. And the USB-C hub, I don't see any lights on it, but we're going to see after we connect it to the laptop. Alright, so this is our work laptop. I'm going to just wipe off the screen quickly here. I did go ahead and sanitize it earlier just to make sure I don't have anybody else's germs, because it is a work laptop. And go ahead and tilt the screen down just because there's some proprietary information on there. We don't want that. So this, as you can see on the laptop here, there is a USB-C port with that sign right there, which means it's a Thunderbolt port. So we can go ahead and plug it in. You can see that same logo on here. So we will support this dock. So now you can see the power come on in the power hub. You can see the light on. So we know that's working. And not sure what turning the power on and off over here does, but see, I press the power button and turned off. I'm going to press it back on and it turns on. And we're going to go ahead and log into the laptop. Okay, and let's see, I'm going to go ahead and go into the display settings. So you can detect different monitors. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and figure out how to connect these and come back to you. Let me see if the hub is on. The hub is on. Okay, so this is why it wasn't working. First I need to connect these cables to the hub. So we're gonna go ahead and plug in the DVI port for monitor 1, plug in the DVI port for monitor 2. There we go. And you can hear already the laptop detecting them. And you can see 1/2 and 3. So this is, you can identify it here. This is 1/2 and this is 3. So this screen will appear up here, and this is the second screen. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start working on setting up the monitors here. So I just click OK on English, OK on English, and we can already see that my laptop screen is showing up here as 1 and 2, and the second one is 3. And we're going to go ahead and keep it at 150% because this is such a high definition monitor. If you turn it down to 100%, the font might be way too small for you to see. For now, I'm going to keep it at 150%, but I might go ahead and change it depending on how much data I need to see. Actually, let's keep it down to 125. Yeah, that might be a little better. It's big enough to see. Okay, just to make it look nicer, you can go ahead and pretty much touch them right next to each other. Go ahead and get them the right height. Tilt them to the same angle. So, you can do all these things to make your workstation look prettier. Sort of angle them in towards you. And this laptop, technically, once you connect your keyboard and mouse, you can sort of just shove it in the back under the hub or above the hub, and you probably don't have to use it. Let's go ahead and connect the mouse and USB keyboard. There are USB ports on the side here that you can use, but I believe you have to connect the USB uplink cable up to the monitor to use that. So I do have the cable that came with the monitor, which is nice, but I'm not going to plug it in because I have the hub itself for ports, and the laptop itself has ports as well. So this is the charging brick for the laptop, and because I'm using a USB-C Thunderbolt port, I don't need to plug this in because the laptop will charge, and I'll show you, just to the hub. As you can see, the laptop is charging already to the hub, so you have one less thing to connect to the laptop itself. Alright, so I have a drawer here which unfortunately I'll put a bunch of stuff on, which I'll clear out, but this is where the keyboard will go and the mouse will stay up here because you won't need a lower surface to type. And this USB, there are USB ports in the back of the hub here which will plug in the keyboard and mouse. As you can see, they are in the back, conveniently placed there, so that you can go ahead and plug in stuff that you don't need to unplug. There's USB-C and USB 3.0 ports, as well as headphone jacks in the front for easy access. So this cable, I'm going to go run a mouse, I'm going to run behind the monitor because we don't really need the cable all up front here. And I'm right-handed, so it's going to be on my right side. The keyboard, I'm going to go ahead and run it from under the drawer and hide that as well, so that I'm not actually closing the drawer onto the cable. So there's a hole in the back of my drawer here that I can run the keyboard cable through. So it's helpful to get a desk that's made for a computer. Obviously, back in the day, or even nowadays, a lot of people just use desktops, but it's not really convenient especially if you're working from home some of the times, but the rest of the times you have to go in. So here's that cable again. Go ahead and run it under here. Okay, so my keyboard's connected. My laptop screen's off, yet the computer keeps chugging along. Let's see if my keyboard types. My mouse is working. Keyboard types. Alright, we're good to go. So that's how to set up your workstation. If you have any questions, comment below, subscribe, like the video, and if there's anything in particular that you'd like me to go over, I'll go ahead and answer your questions. Thank you for watching. Alright, so I have my cable management and everything done setting up. It's not the best, but this is what I've got. So I've got the 3 different screens. The laptop has a different screen. The 2 monitors is different screen. Initially 1 and 2 were a duplicate between the laptop and this screen. So I'll run the cables back there. I've got my power strip running there behind. I will at some point run all this stuff into this cabinet, which only has this one bag in there. So I'm gonna run all this stuff in there eventually, so that there's no cables visible out here. It'll only take like 5 minutes, but this was a quick setup. Obviously I have my mouse there, my keyboard in here. I have stuff in the drawer that I'm just going to throw down here, and then I'll have my workstation ready to go. Thank you for watching.